I'm in a relationship with a single mom and I regret it. Those are some pretty bold words. Also, I'm hoping the lighting and my editing team will do a miraculous job at hiding the massive bruise and goose egg that has stopped bleeding since the window fell on my head. That is right. I have an ice pack on because I need to film. So I'll probably be icing my head in between filming videos. I need some painkillers. That's just the kind of day I'm having today. It's a Monday. Do we expect anything less? This story was first posted February 13th, 2023. I started this relationship 2 years ago when I was 28. Due to the 1-hour drive, we only see each other on the weekends. She has her son Monday to Friday, and on the weekends, Dad gets to see her son, 7 years old. I really only see him on Sunday nights when he gets dropped off. I was always nice to her son. I would play Minecraft and take him out, even went on vacation with her and him a couple of times. But I'm not gonna lie, I never loved the idea of dealing with him. Despite my attempts at treating him like my own, he has proven time and time again that he's just a difficult kid to deal with. I want to keep this post short, so I'll spare the details. This post isn't that short. But the problem is that recently he's been with us every weekend, and I'm starting to get a clearer view into my future with her and her son. I have zero time to myself. There's no sex. We haven't had it in over a month. And I find myself hiding in the bathroom just to get a moment's peace. I no longer look forward to my weekends. I actually look forward to Monday because at least after work, I have a few hours to myself for some peace. I'm starting to realize what my future is looking like, and it horrifies me. I tried having a conversation with my girl about it a few times, but it always leads to some kind of argument. It's like I have all the responsibilities of a parent, but none of the authority. I really love my girlfriend and we have such a good relationship outside of her son, but now I think it's time for me to end it. I just feel completely awful about the whole thing because I knew she was a single mother before I got into this relationship, but I kept ignoring red flags and kept telling myself that it would get better. But it hasn't. It just kept getting worse. I feel like I wasted both of our time, but I'm just having trouble letting go. Every time I think about ending it, I get scared that I'll miss her too much. But deep down, I know that I have to. Any advice or anyone else go through this before? Edit. I just want to clarify that the red flags were not her being a mother. Although her parenting style isn't one that I endorse completely, so I guess that could be a red flag. But I'm just saying I ignored the red flags that involved other aspects of single parent motherhood that are not exactly her fault. For example, her son's father is a deadbeat and doesn't support their son financially at all, so I know that burden would fall on my shoulders completely if we were to stay together. Something I really didn't consider when going into it. Should have been obvious, I know, but we all make mistakes. Let's see what people are saying. Let's check out some of the top comments. Someone commented, listen, if you feel like that, get out. Save yourself, move on. It will sting, but ultimately you will be happier. As a step-parent myself to a very difficult child, it never gets easier. There is literally no happiness in our home anymore, and I have 3 of my own kids who are miserable as well. I wish I had not ignored some red flags. You cannot love someone through these kinds of situations. The OOP wrote back saying, I've already started speaking to a therapist and I'm working on getting out real soon. Her and I actually just started a break because of all the stress and I've been feeling from the relationship. I don't see much value in a sexless relationship with a mom that I have to help raise her kid, who I have to lose all my free time to. I just hate feeling like the bad guy, but I guess I just have to accept that and move on. Next comment. I'm writing this as a single parent. You aren't doing anything wrong by leaving the relationship. Here's my thing. My child always comes first. That's my job as a parent. If the person I was dating felt the way you do, which are valid feelings, it may sting when they ended things, but I would respect it because I want my child to see a healthy relationship. I would never expect a step-parent to 100% treat my child as their own, although that would be amazing. You're right, it's hard and it doesn't tend to get easier, it just changes. I also resort myself to another room from time to time just to get a few moments of silence. It's normal. All 3 of you deserve a functioning relationship without resentments. If this relationship isn't working for you, you are all better off without it. Dating a single parent can be very tough. Interesting. Obviously, if any of you are single parents out there, I would love to hear your opinion on this in the chat. Any parent, really, because when you found your partner, maybe they didn't have kids of their own and they were coming into your life with your kids. So let me know your feelings on this. We have an update though. The first update came March 7th, which was 22 days later. Long story short, I told her I was unhappy. I asked if I could have some time to myself, maybe one weekend a month. I can stay home. She said no. It's all or nothing with us. I offered her couples therapy and even told her I would pay for the entire thing. She refused and said she already has enough therapy. I told her then we need to end it. It was an awful conversation and there was tons of crying until she just hung up on me. A little backstory. She has been through terrible trauma in her life and I was worried she might not be okay because she's still dealing with some of it. Anyway, I was worried about her, but she refused to talk to me. Wouldn't answer calls or texts. I figured it was just over now and I needed to leave her alone. The next morning, I got a text from her asking to come get my stuff that I had left there. I just told her to throw it all out. The stuff wasn't worth me going over there because it would be too hard to see her now. She basically said, please just come get your stuff. I don't want to look at it anymore. And she said this will be the last time we see each other, so let's just say goodbye. I agreed and I drove over there. When I got there, I was met with a pile of my stuff. I started taking trips, bringing it down to my car. When I went to get the last of my stuff, I saw her sitting there on the kitchen floor, just crying. I sat next to her for a while, not saying anything. She kind of made a move where she moved away from me a few inches. I looked at her and I said, I should probably go, huh? She nodded her head. I got up and as I was leaving, I just said to her, I wish you didn't think I was a horrible person. She started yelling from the floor about how she did nothing wrong and whatnot. I couldn't take the yelling. I said goodbye and I left. As I was walking down the hallway, I was haunted by the sounds of her crying so loud I could hear it very clear. As I left her building and got into my car, she called me. She was upset that I didn't want to talk, but I explained to her there wasn't anything left to talk about. She kept going on and on about how awful I was for not doing the right thing, etc., and she refused to take any blame. At this point, I'm already on the highway about 15 minutes away from her apartment when she asked me to come back inside and talk. I told her no, I am already leaving. She started crying and begging me to turn around and talk. I said, I am sorry, I am so sorry, and I hung up the phone. This is the first time I've ever done that to her, but she has hung up on me over a dozen times. She started immediately blowing up my phone. I couldn't deal with it, I was losing my mind, so I just turned my phone off. This is like worst case scenario for a breakup. Every part of it. I left it off for a day, and when I turned it back on, I saw a few short texts and missed calls. I immediately just went ahead and I blocked her. I don't know if I did the right thing. I feel so damn terrible about this whole thing. I want to be there for her, but hearing her cry kills me inside.
Oh, Muffin, it's so hard being you.
But I know me being there for her will just rope me back into the relationship that I was no longer wanting to be in. Even though I still love her, and in fact, I am still in love with her, but it's too much. I know I won't be happy. She wrote me 2 emails since she figured out that she was blocked. I haven't read them yet. I can see they are addressed in a letter format, but I don't have the strength to read them at this time. Now, there has been an edit to this update, so maybe he read the emails? Oh my God, you guys, I have a story. My head is pounding. Oh, my poor head. Oh man. My high school boyfriend at the time, we have been friends since kindergarten, and in high school we decided to date for a few years. My first love obviously didn't work out, broke up. Yeah, I thought my world was ending. So we had MySpace at the time. He sent me, after we broke up, months later after we broke up, he sent me a message on MySpace that he wrote in the future, like to future Jocelyn. However, it went right to my email because MySpace was kind of ending at the time. So I got notified that I had a message from him, but no one used MySpace anymore. And I was like, what is this? And I opened it and it was all about like, I see you as my wife. Just know you might be married by now because this is 10 years in the future by the time you're seeing. It was so embarrassing for him because he didn't expect me to see this message until like 10 years in the future, like a movie, and it went right to my email. And I texted him that I got that message and he was so embarrassed. Bless him. I'm going to his wedding in a few weeks. The best part of it all. Yes, we are still friends. We have the exact same friend group growing up as we've always had. And I am going to his wedding on my birthday weekend in a few weeks. What a story. Anyways, let's check out the edit. Last night, I ended up reading the letters that she sent me before I looked at this post again, and the first letter was super apologetic. It actually made me tear up. It was very sweet, and it made things really difficult. Then I read the second letter, which was sent 12 hours after the first one, and it was of more blame. She was venting about all the things I did wrong, etc. In retrospect, I should not have read either of the letters, but the first letter reminded me of the good times, and then the second letter reminded me of why I broke up with her in the first place. So I am glad she wrote the second one, because if it was just the first one, who knows what I'd be feeling right now. Anyway, I'm going to continue to be strong and block her on any other methods that she tries to contact me with. She even started calling me from her work phone number. I didn't answer it, but I Googled it and confirmed that it had to be her, so I blocked that number as well. She is going through every emotion from a breakup. The sad one, the begging for you back one, and then the angry one. Breakups suck, man. Really hoping I don't have to go through one of those again. Now, the top comment on that update is someone wrote, so she didn't want to give you a weekend off, and instead she gave you a lifetime off. Honestly, I could see why she would feel like she wants all or nothing from you, but she has a child that isn't yours. She should have the skills to rationalize why you would want a weekend off sometimes. I've never dated a girl with a kid, so I can't relate too heavily, but it seems like just from this here that you are empathetic and rational. And you gave her every chance to have a real conversation, and she was just emotionally distraught the entire time. I think after all of that blocking and moving on completely is probably a decent choice. Leaving wiggle room for conversation won't be healthy for either of you. Interesting. Do you think that this could be compromised? Like, I understand you can take a weekend off sometimes. Let's go to therapy. I think that this could have been resolved. I really do. Or at least given a chance to have it resolved. Maybe give him some weekends off, go to therapy. Maybe then he'll see the relationship differently and he'll be happier in it. I don't think it had to end without like giving it some work. Let's work on it. Let's try some compromises. We do have some more updates though. I need a sip of water because my head is literally throbbing. Grab your beverage of choice. Let me know what's in your cup, but drink some water today. Cheers. Drink some extra for me because a window fell on my head. Apparently we need a new window. The next update came 4 days after, on March 13th. We had a tough breakup, and immediately after, I felt great. I was finally free. But now that it has been a week, I'm struggling a lot. I've been crying every single day, including having a complete breakdown last night. I feel so much regret about my decision. I miss her so dang much. I've talked to my therapist, I've talked to my family, I've talked to my friends. None of that has really been helping. I miss talking with her on the phone or seeing her smile. During the breakup, I was so focused on all the bad that I forgot all the good we had. Now that she's gone, it's reversed. I've tried thinking about the bad, and I understand we cannot be together again, but I am fighting the urge every minute not to pick up the phone and call her or text her or just drive over there and beg for forgiveness. I feel like I'm at completely rock bottom here. I think about dating again in the future, not now, and I just don't find any interest in any other person. It just makes me miss her even more thinking about being with someone else. Because what if they don't do what she does? What if they don't have such a sweet laugh, or they are not as fun to be around? So much confusion in my brain. I'll remain strong and not contact her, but I'm here to admit it is absolutely tearing me up inside. Also, very normal feelings after a breakup. Let's be real. Ugh. That's a tough phase. When your world feels like it's literally ending without them. I don't wish that upon anyone, you guys. Next update came May 12th, 2 months later after that post. I wanted to make a post in hopes that it helps more people. Eventually, I did message her and I asked if I could write her son a goodbye letter because I never had the chance to say goodbye to him. I was actually surprised about how much I missed him. He and I had our issues, but I did have a good connection with him, and it was sad to think that I'll never see how he grew up. Anyway, the letter sent, she received and thanked me for it. Everything was pretty cordial. No contact continued. continued. About 6 weeks later, I am still missing her. I still have moments where I break down in tears by myself. I remember going down into my home workout room and just started doing deadlifts until I couldn't physically pick up the bar anymore, and I just collapsed to my knees, crying hysterically. This was at 1 a.m. on a work night. I was a mess. I wrote her a letter after, basically saying everything I wanted to say. I wanted her back. I was going to fix everything, etc., etc. I never sent the letter. I was serious about the no contact. I was going to be strong. I was never going to break it. Writing the letters, then deleting them was just therapy for me in a way. You scared me there for a second. Although, if you guys want to get back together, I do see a resolution. After I wrote that letter, about 3 days later, guess what? She effing called me. I didn't notice it was her at first because I deleted and blocked her number. I don't know if her number didn't get blocked correctly or if it was a different number that I never asked. But I answered and it was her. She started on about, "Oh, hey, how are you? I know we haven't talked in a while, but I just left the Toyota dealer and they failed my car because of the tint you had put on it. Can I borrow you for a moment and can you help me out?" My heart started racing. I wanted to see her so badly. I wanted nothing more than to be with her again, but I knew I had to talk first. I told her I would help her, but I wanted to talk first. So we talked. So many things I wanted to say to her that I began to say. I told her how I was struggling. I told her how I missed her, and I was just completely honest about everything that was going on in my mind. I told her about therapy. I told her about journaling. But when I asked her how she was doing, that's when the truth began to pour out. Oh my God, is she dating someone else? Maybe she's already moved on. She told me she was doing well. She told me that she was regressing, her words. Said she was going out, partying, drinking, hanging out with friends, even made it a point to let me know that the next night she was going out with friends in the city and that she was going to pick up a new dress for it. She sounded like a bimbo on the phone, calling me names like love and sweetie, just cringe level stuff. I asked her if she missed me. She said she did, but she was doing well. Told me therapy has been focusing on her trauma and she doesn't really think about me or dream about me or I guess really care about me at all. I asked her about her son because at this point I was more interested in him. She told me he saved the letter and still asks about me. She said he misses me a lot. I can tell he missed me more than she did. I ended the call with, "I would love to help you, but I can't. Here's the directions to a shop I know that will pass your car with the tint. Tell them you know me and they'll take care of you." And she thanked me and we hung up the phone. Once we hung up, I just stared at my wall for a good 5 minutes. My mind was totally effed up about what just happened. I was so sad at first and angry. How could she move on so easily? How could she not be in any pain while I am sitting here totally devastated about the breakup? She is doing well. My anger and sadness soon turned into appreciation and relief. Oh my God, she's not my problem anymore. Also though, I don't believe that she's not hurting from that. We all go through that as well. How many times would we tell our exes like, "Oh my God, I'm doing so well," or we would post online as if like we are just thriving in life, and then I was like bawling my eyes out every single night, completely depressed. But obviously I don't want them to know that. So I'm not buying this whole thing. She's doing these things that will haunt me at night, but she's not my woman anymore. The girl I was in love with, the girl who every time I close my eyes to think about. She does not exist. I know that sounds crazy, but she does not exist. The girl I keep thinking about is no longer around. She has been replaced with this other person who looks like her and sounds like her, but she isn't her. That helped me out tremendously. Suddenly, I realized that I had been trapped in a mental prison. The whole time I thought she put me there, but she didn't. I did. I put myself there. 2 nights ago, I got a random text from her cousin, 21 female. She told me she heard about the breakup and she wasn't sure if she should say anything, but she said her and I had a good relationship. The cousin and I, we used to always joke around with each other when she visited. She told me she will really miss me, and she even said that she doesn't believe my ex will ever replace me. Her whole family loved me, and it shows. Anyway, I know this post is long, but I'm really doing great right now. I'm actually going to start dating again soon and have been doing so well. I also don't believe that you're doing well, but That's just my opinion. We have a final update 3 days later. I guess it wasn't the last one, wasn't it? This is our first Mother's Day apart after the breakup about 2 months ago. I wanted to write her an email wishing her a happy Mother's Day. I was just going to say, hey, I wasn't sure if I should reach out, but I wanted to wish you a happy Mother's Day. I hope child is doing well. I miss him. I wanted to write it so bad. I wrote the email in my head about 10 times, but I never wrote it. I told myself I would not do it and I contained myself. It was hard fighting the urge, but now it's the next day and I'm so happy that I contained myself. I am, for the most part, over my ex, but seeing the reminder of Mother's Day just brought back so many memories. Luckily, your feelings are temporary. Stay strong, everyone. Top comments on this. His word usage was problematic. His posts are all about me, me, me. Even his one enclosure was about how he wanted it. Then he calls her a bimbo for going out, or how he would worry if they were still together. Seems super controlling. That's interesting. Okay, so people are not vibing with this OB. Someone else commented, he started hating her once he found out that she was doing okay. OP is just your typical pig. Oh my gosh. Okay, we really don't like him. All right. I also didn't like that part though. Even let's say she was doing better and she was going out with friends and she was happy after that devastating breakup. Like, you don't get to hate her for being happy. But I definitely didn't want my exes happy after we broke up. I hope you're miserable forever. I hope you never find happiness again. I hope they're still miserable, you know? I wish them all well.
In hell.
Let me know your thoughts on this, you guys. Have you ever texted an ex after a breakup? Did you cave and text them or call them? Oh, I want to know the tea. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Stay classy out there, stay sassy, and pray for my head. It's pounding. It's not well.